One second. My name is Rubin, and this is my Jewish journey. I am a first-generation born American Jew. My grandparents and parents immigrated from Russia to Lower East Side. After my parents' marriage, they eventually moved to the Promised Land where I was born and raised, the Bronx. I grew up in a two-story attached home with my aunt and uncle living upstairs and my grandparents living with us as well. My family was large. I had 20 first cousins. I was the only boy, and we all lived within 3 blocks of one another. Judaism was an integral part of my early years. We were Orthodox. Our shul was 2 blocks from my home. I attended yeshiva, where I was not the best Talmudic student. In fact, shortly after my grandfather passed away, I begged my dad to allow me to go to public school so I could flip baseball cards and play stickball, among other city games. I can't begin to count how many White Castle hamburgers I consumed during those years. On the day I turned 13, I was bar mitzvahed. My father and 2 uncles went to shul with me where there was a minyan, and I ran the service and chanted from the Torah. It was there that I had my first taste of whiskey. I thought my insides were on fire. There was a celebratory service for the entire shul on the following Saturday where the women were seated upstairs. This was followed by a strictly kosher blowout at the Grand Concourse Hotel. During high school, I played football and tennis. There were not many other Jewish players on the teams. I experienced anti-Semitism, although I didn't call it that. Many of the athletes made condescending remarks about Jews, even when I was within earshot. They would typically say later, "Hey, Rube, we didn't mean you." But of course they did, and I found it very offensive and hurtful. I was recruited by the University of Miami to play football and tennis. The anti-Semitic remarks continued among my teammates. There were several Jewish fraternities on campus, but I pledged the one where most of the athletes pledged, Sigma Alpha Epsilon. I was living amid a completely non-Jewish community and experienced a subtle and innate prejudice against Jews. Many years later, I was fortunate to meet my wife in Miami. The deal was sealed when I tasted her brisket. We raised our children in Miami, where my wife owned a quilt shop and then taught at a Jewish day school, and our lives were intertwined daily with Temple Beth Am. Our son was practicing medicine in New York City, and after our daughter graduated from college and was living in the city as well, we moved to the city part-time and subsequently full-time. I was once again in a very Jewish neighborhood on the Upper West Side and felt right at home. While at my law firm in New York City, which was founded 75 years ago by 3 Jewish partners who had been denied positions at other white Jew law firms, we had a partner lunch. At these events, we played a series of word games, and at one time a question was posed to the group. What was the most consumed drink in New York City? One partner seated next to me immediately raised his hand and shouted, "I know, it's seltzer." Indeed, my whole world seemed Jewish at that point. One of my clients was basketball legend Julius Erving. He was the 5th highest scoring player in the NBA history. He revolutionized the dunk and won the NBA All-Star dunking contest 3 years in a row. Dr. J is considered one of the best players in both the ABA and the NBA. He retired in 1987 after the Philadelphia 76ers won the World Championships. He invited June and me to accompany his family and him, along with other retired NBA players, to visit Israel as part of NBA Cares. That experience was deeply moving. For me, as we attended the Maccabi games, played basketball with orphan children at Migdal Orphanage, and said Kaddish at Yad Vashem, where we also visited many holy sites. It was unforgettable. During COVID, we rented a house in Wilton, discovered Ridgefield, and fell in love with the town. After June and I had many experiences as Jews, and we lived in many different communities, we have continued our commitment to our upbringing as Jews, raised our children as Jews, and continued our relationship with the Jewish people and religion. June and I are thrilled to be a part of Congregation Shir Shalom, and we look forward to many, many years of joy. Lashana Tova once again.